Welcome to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Kathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-directors and co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of Tyro.
Tyro is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And we are pumped and excited to be with you today. And we have a great show.
Always, right?
Yes.
Because our passion is to help you overcome every obstacle that you are about to face. And so when we talk about warrior, we mean that we war for our legacy, for our family's future and health and stability. And the things that we learned while Ron did 15 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit were the things that help hold our family together and the things we're going to teach you.
And so this show is about empowerment, empowering you to really understand what it means to pivot, what it means to have a new mindset, what it means to embrace the experience you're having. And we want to give you something that will not only empower you, but that you can then become a multiplier and empower others to carry and to build a new legacy, no matter who they are, where they're at, but a new legacy for themselves and their family.
If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, we all heard that old saying, but I remember that feeling of just being sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, of dragging and not having any hope at all. And if that's you and you're just tired of living your life and there in the shadows on the outskirts, and you're like, you know what, you really want to have a chance at fulfilling your dreams and goals?
And then you're in the right place.
Yes.
I tell you what, we are pumped because we've been able to take the skills and the precepts that we've been able to not only acquire, but really come to understand and grow and learn and empower others. So welcome to our show, Tyro TV. And we want you to really sit down, get a piece of paper out, get ready to take some notes, because what we're about to give you, I promise you, if you make this part of your practice, part of your lifestyle, it will change your life.
So your goal, your mission in life is to build a legacy of strong family. So as you create your own legacy, you are thereby creating a legacy for everyone coming behind you. And your kids are counting on you to cut a path for them to follow. And so today we're going to talk about belief systems. What is your belief system?
What is your BS? Right.
That's right.
But you know what? I mean, but if you're not wanting to learn, if you don't want to change where you're at, if you're not looking to, you know what, I need to do something different. If you don't have the mindset that what got you in this predicament where you're at right now, that you need to change, then this is the show for you. If you want to stay right where you're at, then turn the TV off, change the channel, go somewhere else. But if you're ready to put your bootstraps on, right? If you're ready to say, you know what, I'm ready to get dirty, I'm ready to get to work, then this is your show, man.
So when we come back, we're going to get into and break down belief systems and how those belief systems can either propel you to a place of achieving your dreams or hold you back. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Tyro Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. Tyro Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tijerina's own personal experiences. Tyro Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of Tyro, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Kathy Tijerina. And
And
we're
today-
so glad you joined us today.
Today we are talking about BS. It's all about BS.
That's right, because your BS will either help you overcome every obstacle and challenge in front of you, or it will cause you to be paralyzed, cause you to hide, cause you to avoid every challenge that comes your way.
So what does BS stand for?
Belief systems.
And this is really an eye-opener. It was for me, it was for Kathy, and it was for our family. You know, what is a belief system? A belief system is something that has been indoctrinated, has been instilled in us from maybe when we were a child all the way into adulthood, to where we believe in something a certain way.
Right. And so our values, the things that are important to us, our opinions, all of those things help form our belief system. Now, we can have something that we really, really believe, but it can be unhealthy, it can be detrimental, it can be healthy, it can be instrumental. And so really identifying what your belief systems are is really important, because your belief systems guide and direct your thought patterns, which can trigger emotions, which then cause you to make choices and decisions in your life. So as we talk about belief systems, it's really important that you understand how vital it is that you know what your belief system is.
You know, I'll give you an example of one of the first belief systems that I was introduced to when I went to prison. One of the belief systems that I was introduced to was the saying, I came in alone and I'm going home alone. And that was something I heard over and over and over again, but it really never rang true with me, right? In fact, I had to literally become conscious of, I don't want to think like that. I don't want to believe like that. But the normacy inside the penitentiary, a belief system, is that the majority of people would start to carry that attitude because wounded people wound others. And when we're wounded, and listen, when you're incarcerated, you first go to prison. You know, this is a process of healing. But if you don't become healed while you're incarcerated, you become bitter,
Absolutely.
not better. And then that belief system of, I came in alone and I'm going out alone, begins to penetrate our thinking and begins to become a lifestyle of how we conduct ourselves inside the penitentiary.
So when we adopt attitudes, and it then influences our behavior. And so those attitudes become just ingrained in us as part of our belief system, as part of who we are. And so it's really important that you understand when we say belief system, we don't just mean, okay, what do you think? We don't just mean the things that you say, but we literally mean the alliance between how you live your life and what you believe. Because we can actually convince ourselves that our belief system is one thing. Like I remember when Ron first went to prison, and I was telling myself that I could do anything, I could overcome anything, but that really wasn't my belief. So I'm telling other people things that weren't really true because my actions said, oh my goodness, there's no opportunity or hope for me. Like this is over, my life is over, my family has no chance of surviving.
So you were faking it till you make it?
No, not even that. I was lying.
To who?
Myself and everybody around me.
And there's another way.
A pretender. I was a pretender.
So Tyrose, check this out. So what Kathy's saying, she was self-hypnotizing herself. She was believing and if you say something to yourself over and over again, you will put yourself in a state of unconsciousness, right? Where now you're believing a lie. And you begin to perpetrate that. In prison, we put on this thing called false bravado. We put on this mask, and that's what we're talking about today. When you create a new belief system that's going to empower you to become a multiplier and empower others, we want to be able to take off those masks. We want to be confident in our belief system. But a lot of times when we don't know what we want, we don't know who we are, we don't know why we're here, we will fall into this thing called the herd mentality and just believe anything that we're told because why?
Because we're in pain, we're exemplifying and magnifying self-pity, and so then hopelessness comes, and so then we just pretend like we're okay, and so we're telling everybody, oh, we're fine, but the truth is, we're not fine. And so your belief system can be shaped and will be shaped by the encounters that you have in your life. It influences the way that you see the world. And so if you have a faulty belief system, hear me, if you have a faulty belief system, your foundation is unstable and will not support your dreams.
So your best thinking or the belief system that you've embraced prior to penitentiary, now watch this, your best thinking got you where?
Right here.
Incarcerated. So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be willing to be taught something new, willing to hear something new, because your belief system, whatever it might be, put you in prison. So being real with yourself, Father, being real with yourself, Dad, is coming into a place of where, you know what? All my thinking, everything I was believing in, I ended up in prison. So what was wrong with my thinking? What was wrong with my belief system? It was faulty. The foundation of it was not solid. It was built on sand. And therefore, when your belief system was challenged, you found out that, we call them mush fakers. We call them pretenders. This is who we manifested as, and we didn't know it.
because your belief system is dictating your actions and it's dictating the health of not just you, but also your relationships. And so it's really important to understand that because you are passing that on to your children. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about why belief systems are so important and the important role that they play in your life. So stay tuned.
And we'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. Tyro Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a Tyro Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Kathy Tiarina.
And today we're talking about belief systems.
That you're BS.
You know, and we're talking about really what your morals are, what your values are, how you carry yourself, who you associate with. You know, your belief system will determine all of those things in your life. And so we want to talk about right now in this segment of why is it important to know what you believe? Mm-hmm. Why is it important to conduct yourself that exemplifies your belief system in an honorable way that shows that you are a man worth following, Dad, because you have a lot of people who are watching you and influencing you, and you're influencing them. But we want to get to the nitty gritty of this. Why is what you're thinking? You know, when I was incarcerated, I heard guys tell me, you know what, when I get home, I'm going to get mine. You know what, they can't do this to me. Be mine, get mine. All those negative attitudes of where they put on this machismo that wasn't healthy. This machismo, this mannerism that was all about themselves. They lived in a selfish attitude, and that was their belief system, that they thought that's the way to be.
Right.
Because,
so your belief system, if your belief system is unhealthy, then that is what you are going to be spewing across your life. So a healthy belief system, right, understands that life is not perfect, that I am not perfect, but I have a ton of opportunity, not only opportunity to become a better person, but opportunity to help other people become better, opportunities to make my dreams come true, opportunities to thrive, right? And then I can make decisions based upon that paradigm through which I see the world. But if I have an unhealthy belief system, then my paradigm says that no matter what I do, it's never going to work. You know what? I'm never going to be successful. You know, somehow I'm shut out. Somehow that opportunity is not open to me. Oh, woe is me. Poor me. Mm-hmm. And so I might put on a bravado of being super tough and super like, I don't care. But the truth is inside, I feel discarded. I feel discounted. And so if I have an unhealthy belief system, then that leads to I'm going to take everything personal. And if I take everything personal, then I'm taking on this victim mentality, and I can never overcome my circumstance. And so we think about why is it so important to first identify what your belief system is, and secondly, to actually create a healthy belief system is because your future and your family is at stake.
If you're not willing to be honest with yourself, if you're not willing to change your belief system, listen, your best thinking got you where? 15 to 25, 5 flat, 5 straight, whatever time you're doing, your belief system ended you up incarcerated. That tells us and the world that your belief system sucks.
It's faulty.
Right? It's broken, man.
Right.
And it's time to be real. Come on, Dad. But if you're willing to change, man, if you're willing to say, you know what, I need to change the way I think. I need to really re-examine what I believe in life. Because a lot of the times, your selfishness, your attitude of it's all about me, this is a belief system. This is how you think of yourself, and you walk all over people. But when you know that, you know what, that's not healthy. I want to change. I don't want a divorce. I want to have my kids have a great life. Listen, Kathy mentioned the word opportunity. There's opportunities all around us. But if your belief system says you got the self-attitude of it's all about me, or
and I'm totally defeated,
and nobody likes
right.
me, nobody wants me, and therefore I'm in prison, and you start blaming everybody else for your own story, right? Then your belief system is faulty. And we want to
say that again. For what? Blaming everybody else for what?
Everybody else for your incarceration.
Your own
right? Your own story. Thank you for that. It kind of slipped my mind that quick. Your own story. And you blame everybody, and that's crazy. Yeah. This is your story.
It is crazy.
Why are you blaming everybody else for the choices you made? Own that your belief system is faulty. But now watch this though. We talk about why is it important? It's so important because as long as you got breath, you got time to change your story.
I love that. And
right?
that is so true. You say that all the time, Ron. And it's one of the things that I really love because it ignites inside of me again. Because sometimes, you face a challenge and you start feeling discouraged. And then I always say to myself, you know what? I'm still alive. I still have an opportunity to do something different and better tomorrow. So if I make a mistake or I make a decision that I think is going to have outcome A and and actually had outcome B, that's not the end of my story. It's not the end of my story because I still have breath. I get to continue to write the story. I get to continue to say, you know what? Through all these trials, all these tribulations, my belief system will guide me that I am capable of overcoming those and that I will be successful in the end.
Now, we all make mistakes. We all fall short. That ain't what we're talking about. But when you own your mistake and you can say to yourself, you know what? I'm not going to stay here. I want to grow. I want to become better, not bitter. Listen, you are in the best place you can be. You get to rewrite and reevaluate your situation in your life. Your children, dads, are depending upon you to instill in them a great legacy, but also great morals, great values, right? A great belief system that they will not go on the same path that you ended up on. No father in prison wants their sons or daughters to be incarcerated. Right. I have not met a healthy father, a father who has woken up inside the prison and say, oh my gosh, what have I been doing with my life all this time? I've been wasting time. Now it's time to change the belief system so that you can help instill into your children the opportunity to see life for what it is. There's greatness in life. There's great stories in life. There are great things that are happening in their life. That once they begin to change the way they see their life, right?
So switch the paradigm.
Switch it. Let's say it. Switch it.
Switch it, right? And so when you do that, when you actually are able to address the root cause of negative decision making, negative attitudes and behaviors, then you can change your life. And so we're going to talk about now how. How do you identify what your belief system is and how do you change it if you don't like it? So stay tuned after this short break.
We'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the Tyro program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a Tyro, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a Tyro. I'm a Tyro. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Kathy Tijerina.
And today we are talking about your belief system, right?
Your BS, right?
And I tell you what, if my belief system was what it is today, back then,
oh, man.
we would be so far ahead of where we're, I mean, the changes in our lives, the lifestyle, the things we would have been able to experience.
I know. And it's like, when I look back, and so, hear this, guys, because when I look back, I have regret and think, my goodness, I was so asleep. My belief system was so faulty.
Man.
I believed, I did really great in high school. I graduated near the top of my class with a full ride scholarship. And I just thought the world owed it to me, right? Of course, that I didn't have to put forth any effort. But at the same time, I really lacked the courage that I needed. I didn't really have the hope for the future because I didn't know what it held, because my belief system was faulty.
My belief system was, I worked during the week, partied all weekend.
And it didn't matter.
And
your belief system was, what I did doesn't matter.
If it felt good, I did it. It was all about me. You know what? I wanted to get high. I wanted to get drunk. I didn't want to go to work. You know what? I didn't want to pay my bills. That was my belief system. You know what? The world owes me a living.
Yeah,
right?
very goofy.
The attitude of goofy, right? I was just living for the moment, not living for the week. I was living for the weekend, but not living for the future. Had no understanding that I could begin the process of living for the next 10 years.
When people say, "Oh wow, I'm living week to week," it's like we were living day to day.
Day to day.
And so, because our belief system was that what we were doing in that moment
was the best we could do.
No, for me, my belief system was what I was doing in that moment wasn't going to affect my future.
Oh, yeah, that
because
too.
life was just going to happen to me no matter what I did, and so it didn't matter. So my belief system was faulty, and so we had to figure out how to identify the stinking thinking, the things that were going on in our own minds that were blocking us.
Think about that, the consequences of going to prison. Fellas, listen to me, I'm going to tell you right now. If this is your first number, second number, third number, and you haven't really figured out what the consequences of going to prison, there are many consequences that you have no idea because of your incarceration what you can't do. Now, the first one is obvious. Everybody knows this. You can't get a gun. You have a felony. You cannot own a firearm. And that's pretty well known. That's told to us in prison. Maybe we even hear about it, but we know. But did you know you can't travel to other countries if you have a felony? Did you know, unless they give you approval, did you know that you can't even get normal life insurance policies because you have a felony? There's so many things, so many
sanctions, right? That when you were in that asleep state and your belief system was so warped, you had no idea what you were giving up. And so that's why it's so important that you've got to stop what you're doing and you've got to look and say, okay, what is my belief system? So first of all, here's how to identify whether or not your belief system is unhealthy or healthy. Think about the last 3 major decisions you made. So as you think about those last 3 major decisions, ask yourself, what did you take into consideration as you made that decision? And then what was the outcome of the decision you made? So as you made those decisions, if it was like, you know what, screw them, I'm gonna get mine, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, that's unhealthy. If the outcome of that decision was like, you know what, I'm going to live for today. You know what, I've got today, and let's just go ahead and blow all of our money on this silly thing, right? Well, then your decision making and your belief system is faulty.
And as you do this assignment, now this is really important. The last 3 decisions you made, look at them. What was the outcome? If you're not happy with the outcome, then guess what? It's time to change the way you think. It's time to change what you believe. And the next thing is the how-to is when you're doing all this, find a mentor.
Right. So now how to change to develop a healthy belief system.
How do you go from that faulty thinking to a solid way of life, right? Where people are not only looking at you and now you're becoming the influencer. Now they want to follow you, right? You got to find somebody that you look up to, somebody you admire, say, you know what? Wow, they're living a great life. How did they get there? Because listen, this does not come to a sleeper. You got to wake up.
And you know what, Ron? I'm actually gonna give you another pointer, because finding a mentor is the ultimate goal. Because in order to really change the way that you think, you've got to have somebody that is healthy in their belief system that can help you knock down those lies that are holding you back in your belief system. But before you can really do that, you've got to really know what it is that's holding you back. So if you never address the trauma you had in your life, you will always have a fractured belief system. And so you've got to look back at your life and say, you know what? These things happened to me. These things caused me pain. These things affected me, which then caused me to become infected by how I see the world, and it infected my belief system.
So it doesn't matter who you are, where you've been. If you are watching this show and you're in prison, listen, there's been some trauma that took place in your life as a child, as a young adult, even as an adult, right? Because your belief system tells us right now, because you're incarcerated, hey, it's faulty. It's time to change. It's time to think. But listen, that's not the end of the story.
Right.
There is life after penitentiary. There is life after divorce. There is life after trauma. We all have trauma in our lives, but healthy people know how to navigate, go through the healing process, because, losing a loved one because of cancer, that's trauma.
Right.
Right? But then there's a process of healing through that. And this is how to do this. How do you walk through it? How do you grow? How do you find out the way out? Right?
And so then the third way is to identify goals. So once you have found a mentor, and actually, we're going to flip that. We're going to say, first, address your trauma. Because after you address your trauma, you'll see more clearly. You can identify a healthy mentor. Then you want to identify your goals. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it all up and finish up this episode.
So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Tyro Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. Tyro Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. Tyro Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of Tyro, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a Tyro, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to Tyro TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Kathy Tiarina.
And today we have had the wonderful experience of talking about belief systems.
And the importance of them. Why are belief systems so important? And really how to know whether or not your belief system is faulty and broken or whether it's healthy and solid. And so we talked about 3 things to do. Well, actually 4. 1 was to think about your last 3 major decisions. And I'm going to even challenge you, not just in prison. Think about the decisions you made while you were home, right? And think about, okay, what have I carried from that brokenness even now that I have to address in my decision making?
And the second one is recognize the trauma. Address the trauma that you have not addressed. And what is it? Look at it. How do you overcome the trauma in your life?
And so recognizing it and releasing its hold on you is going to prepare you to see clearly so that you can identify a mentor that can really help you make sure that your belief system is aligning with your goals, which is the 4th one. Identify what your goals are, set those goals, begin to dream again, and understand that you have the opportunity to make those dreams come true.
So if your goal right now is to become a great writer, right? Or your goal is to lose weight. Whatever your goal might be, right where you're at, take a piece of paper, right? And write it on there, whatever that goal is, and then post it somewhere in your cell, in your unit, wherever you're at, where you can see it every day. And then at the end of every day, when you look at it, you got to be able to answer the question, what did I do today that got me closer to this goal, right? Whatever it is, maybe it's not being an alcoholic. Maybe it's putting down the nicotine. Maybe it's not gambling. Maybe it's not asking your family for money every time you're on the phone. I don't know.
But whatever it is, one small baby step every single day is going to get you there. And if you never take a step, you're never going to start the journey. If you never start the journey, you cannot possibly end the journey. And so we want to encourage you today to identify those broken places in your belief system, repair those, work on those, change and shift the paradigm through which you see your opportunities and the way you see yourself. See yourself as capable of doing it, and you will inspire yourself to do it.
Positive pivot, man. PP, positive pivot. One thing in life, and remember we said this earlier, as long as you have breath, your story is not over. So it's up to you, Dad. It's up to you to begin to build a new strong legacy, a new belief system for your family. What you're doing is you're going to be changing the culture in your family, which is amazing. You're going to go from a mindset of it, you know what, it's mine, be mine, get mine, how that saying goes. You know, if somebody owes you money, whatever, oh, you're going to give me mine. That attitude has got to stop. Right? Because nobody, dads, owes you anything. Change your belief system. You will change your outcome and you will build a strong legacy, not only for you, but for all those generations coming behind you.
So we want to thank you for taking time today to join us here on Tyro TV. We know that if you apply these principles, that you will experience transformation in your life and in your kids' lives.
So until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.